We were in the Guinness Book of Records for... Is that what you were saying? Isn't that strange? I was just going to tell you, but yeah, we were in the Guinness World Book of Records for being the first ever girl band to debut at number 1, but also the Guinness Book of Records for the fastest group to be formed and go to number 1, so that was fantastic.
Girls Aloud debut album was finally released in May 2003 and went straight into the album charts at number 2. Also titled Sound of the Underground, the CD came in a striking retro modernist sleeve, with the girls dressed in shiny silver outfits like something out of Barbarella, their hair sprayed up into solid steel sculptures against a minimalist black, pink and green backdrop. The Girls Aloud logo was rendered in day-glow, cut-out ransom note-style lettering, deliberately echoing Jamie Reed's infamous Sex Pistols logo. Message: Girls Aloud are punk, except they're not really. They're fake manufactured kitsch, but they know it and they don't care, which actually makes them more punk than Green Day or whoever. And anyway, who cares, Grandad? Just listen to the music. Of course, the album starts with the title track, the girls' by now legendary debut smash hit single, Sound of the Underground itself. It's followed by No Good Advice, and then Some Kind of Miracle, which is sung from the point of view of a wallflower at a disco, hoping that the guy of her dreams will notice her. She's hanging around with all his slacker mates, just in the hope of getting his attention. She has better things to do, but does he care? Nope. There's a nice semi-acoustic guitar riff wrapped around a basic drum machine beat, and a nursery rhyme chorus backed up by breathy buzz, worthy of forgotten but rather good 80s indie band The Adult Net. All I Need, All I Don't is a squelchy electro-funk, pleasingly minimal with a nice choppy guitar riff on the chorus and an icy minor key synth solo that's tantalisingly brief. Then it's on to Life Got Cold and Mars Attack, the first of 3 numbers on the album written by Alison Clarkson, who in a previous existence was early 90s chart star Betty Boo of Where Are You Baby and Doin' the Do fame. It's also produced by her, alongside her old muckers the Beatmasters, with whom she enjoyed her first hit, Hey DJ, I Can't Dance to the Music You're Playing. In typical Betty Boo style, the trademark sci-fi camp of the title has no relevance at all to the rest of the song, a dance number about, dancing, that quotes Beck's 2 turntables and a microphone and is enjoyably balmy. Stop kind of sounds like a modern plastic Nutbush City Limits. It's a cool, catchy song about going out dancing and not sleeping and surrendering to all kinds of forbidden pleasures. Girls Aloud is a funky R&B number from the pen of Brian McFadden that has some great lines like, I don't like a man who drives a fast car to make you think they're bigger, baby, than they really are, and I don't need a man who hasn't got a job, who sits watching telly with his belly and a bottle of rum. Actually, this song is so pro the ladies and anti-bloke that it could pass for a lesbian anthem, which is surely a good thing. Forever and a Night is the album's Mariah Carey moment, a big ballad full of soulful over-emoting, while Love Hate marries odd Eastern sound effects to drum and bass rhythms and moody synthesizers. Betty Boo and the Beatmasters are back on Boogie Down Love, which screams, I wanna go dancing, too cool for school, love me, love me, love me. It's balmy, high-energy pop music that's entirely physical in its appeal, and all the better for it. Wanna Go Faster? It repeats, and its trebly, clangy thrill is tailor-made for soundtracking fairground waltzers spinning round and round. White Lies is a My Man Done Me Wrong R&B number, and there are 2 UK bonus tracks in the shape of another Betty Boo composition, Love Bomb, which surely should have been a single, and Everything You Wanted. A reissued version of the album added the single Jump and You Freak Me Out from the Disney film Freaky Friday, as well as Girls on Film and the videos for the first 3 singles. Ultimately, Sound of the Underground was a better album than anybody had any right to expect. Pop albums by their nature generally consist of 3 or 4 good singles, some covers and a lot of filler. And pop acts from the Supremes to the Sugar Babes will always be judged on their singles, whilst only so-called serious rock acts like U2 and Coldplay are judged on albums. But Sound of the Underground is that rare thing, a pop album that stands up on its own merits. Sure, there are moments when the girls sound like they're still finding their feet and developing their sound, but overall, it more than silences those critics who said that Girls Aloud only had 1 or 2 hit singles in them. Get used to it. These girls are here to stay.
He was brilliant, Brian. He's fantastic. So he's a really, really talented man, and he's given us the sound that we've got now for first single, second single, and hopefully third single. So he's amazing.
Also, the female he works with who actually wrote the lyrics. So Brian's the producer, but the person that wrote the lyrics, Miranda, she's fantastic. She's going to be a really, really big success.
As Girls Aloud became increasingly known for the quality of their songs, rather than the hype or the image surrounding them, so attention started to be focused on the songwriting and production team behind the scenes. All 3 of Girls Aloud's initial hit singles had been written by Brian Higgins and Miranda Cooper, and had been produced by Brian Higgins and Xenomania. Now the world began to ask, who or what was Xenomania? If it sounded like an infectious disease, then it was certainly catching, because all of a sudden people began to notice the name on songs for the Sugar Babes, Rachel Stevens, Kylie Minogue and Texas. In fact, every utterly addictive, brilliant and original hit single that caused you to stop whatever you were doing and turn the radio up when you heard it seemed to come from the Xenomania stable. Xenomania, according to Brian Higgins, is the opposite of xenophobia. That is, it means loving and embracing everything from all cultures, no matter how strange. It's both a snub to those in his early days who tried to tell him what he could and couldn't do, and something of a mission statement for a songwriting and production house that accepts no limitations. Brian, the main man at Xenomania, started out as part of chart-bothering early 90s rave act Motive 8, who in addition to having several hits in their own right, remixed everyone from Pulp to the Pet Shop Boys and the Spice Girls. They also worked with short-lived Eurovision sensation Gina G, which was how Brian met future songwriting partner Miranda Cooper, then working as Gina's backing singer. Higgins started Xenomania in 1996, writing and producing several hit singles for Dannii Minogue, and also writing Cher's massive worldwide hit Believe, which he missed out on producing due to his being too embarrassed to invite Cher around to his rather modest London flat. Several dodgy record company deals followed, and years of struggle, which later inspired Brian to write the lyrics to No Good Advice. At some point, Miranda Cooper, Tim Powell and Nick Kohler also came on board, and Xenomania continued to work with everyone from Natasha Atlas to Kaniki and Saint Etienne. It was Xenomania's work with first the Sugar Babes and then Girls Aloud, however, that finally established their chart-breaking credentials. Brian says that Xenomania stands for everything that's interesting in pop music, as well as tunes that a postman can whistle. Certainly there's no doubting that their songs are some of the most experimental and innovative pop records of modern times, packing more ideas into 3 minutes than most writers manage in a lifetime. And the results are as catchy as a cold on the last day of term, because they manage to combine the essence of pop glory's past with the thrill of hearing something completely new and unusual. The former gives you a sense of familiarity and attachment to the song, while the latter makes it stand out and stick in your mind, and ensures that you can't wait to hear it again. Certainly, Brian Higgins has a distinctive sound, an original vision, and a grasp of pop's golden rules that have more than earned him comparisons with legendary producers of yesteryear like Joe Meek, Phil Spector, and Stock Aitken and Waterman. But Higgins claims that the spirit of Xenomania is closer to the last gang in town mentality of a classic rock band than to a faceless hit factory. For one thing, they only work with acts that they like and are interested in, that they see as being talented in their own right. Not for them a parade of interchangeable puppet acts that exist only as faces for the marketing of their songs. Among those that Xenomania have turned down are Gareth Gates and Atomic Kitten, while Britney Spears' management rejected Graffiti My Soul because it didn't sound enough like Sound of the Underground and got Kathy Dennis to write them Toxic instead. The fact is, Xenomania actually care about the music they make, and would always go for quality over quantity. They could easily accept every commission that comes in and make a ton of money and a load of huge hit records that all sounded the same and were increasingly poor. But if they did, they just wouldn't be able to live with themselves. Instead, using the money and industry respect garnered from their carefully crafted chart hits, Xenomania have set up several small independent labels dedicated to releasing intelligent left-field dance music. And increasingly, Girls Aloud have become involved in the songwriting process themselves, co-writing 5 of the songs on their second album, What Will the Neighbours Say? Clearly, this is not some dictatorial production team who always assume that they know best. This is a group of people who genuinely love pop music, with a vision of talented performers, writers, producers and musicians all coexisting under one roof, and all putting their individual egos aside to contribute to the one thing that matters, the song.
We're going to try. I mean, it's quite hard, to write tracks, and I think people just assume now that you have to be able to write songs. And Rob, we didn't come in this competition to write songs, we came to sing songs, and sometimes you've just got to leave people at best at what they're best doing, and right now at this minute I think we're best singing the songs and letting the writers write them.
Girls Aloud returned to action in May 2004 with a brand new single, The Show. Mouths were agape at the sheer audacious brilliance of the new song, seemingly tailor-made for the dance floors of the trendiest night spots, as well as the girls' increasingly saucy new image. Gone were the pink and black, retro space-age outfits of the previous year, to be replaced by raunchy club wear, mere wisps of gauze, suggestive of the boudoir and, in many cases, nothing much at all. And alongside their harder-edged new sound and their more adult look, the lyrics too suggested a more worldly wise and sexually explicit point of view. Where the songs on Sound of the Underground were all about dancing and romance, staying up late and not wanting to be told what to do, the show suggested that the girls had now definitely grown up and left home. If they were a film, Girls Aloud would now be rated a 12A instead of a U. Love Machine, Girls Aloud's 6th single, was a further step away from their original pre-teen fan base, towards a club-going audience, even if its catchy twangy guitar riff harked back to Sound of the Underground. Like its predecessors, it hit the top 3 running as the nation held its breath in anticipation of Girls Aloud's second album. Before that stupendous event, however, it was revealed that the girls had been chosen to record that year's Children in Need single. It's become something of an annual tradition that every year a top UK pop band should record a song, usually a cover version, to raise money for the charity, which helps out disadvantaged youngsters, in tandem with a yearly fundraising all-star telethon. Girls Aloud had been one of several groups in the running for this honour, and the song they'd cover was also the subject of much debate and rumour. Up until the last minute, the bookies' choice was that they'd do a version of Jennifer Rush's 1985 number 1 power ballad, The Power of Love. Instead, the band surprised everyone by announcing that they'd be recording a version of the Pretenders' hit, I'll Stand By You. Girls Aloud covering the Pretenders? Surely not. Fans of the punky new wave icons, whose singer and songwriter Chrissie Hynde once said that she'd bomb McDonald's in the name of vegetarianism, must have thrown up their hands in horror. And yet it made a strange kind of sense. After all, Chrissie Hynde was a genuine girl power icon, someone who'd made a name for herself as a strong, outspoken rocker in the male-dominated music industry of the late 70s, while penning such classic songs as Kid, Brass in Pocket and Don't Get Me Wrong. Girls Aloud have always had a punk element to their pop music, and I'll Stand By You was a scarf-waving anthem of a ballad just waiting to be given a modern-day makeover. Plus, it was a lot more fresh and credible than Jennifer Rush's chest-beating dinosaur of a song. Girls Aloud's version of I'll Stand By You stuck fairly closely to the arrangement of the original, while definitely stamping their own personalities all over it. Avoiding any high-tech Xenomania studio wizardry, they played it straight, allowing Nicola to step into the spotlight and bring the house down with a show-stopping vocal performance. Appropriately enough, the song gave Girls Aloud their second #1 hit single. But while they were celebrating, the girls were also struggling with personal bereavements. Nadine suffered 3 family deaths during 2004 and was granted a brief leave of absence from the band to be with her family. And Nicola's uncle also died while the group were promoting I'll Stand By You. Personal tragedies aside, the moment was now obviously more than due for Girls Aloud to hit the road and perform live across the UK. Appetites had been whetted by a series of one-off summer appearances at festivals and university freshers' balls, as well as an MTV special which saw the girls performing versions of Jump, Love Machine, The Show and Sound of the Underground live to a studio audience. When it was finally announced, Girls Aloud's debut UK tour sold out on all of its 24 dates almost immediately. Despite some controversy over whether the girls were actually singing live or not, it was an experience definitely worth the wait. In addition to their own hits, the girls treated audiences to renditions of the Wheatus rock song Teenage Dirtbag and Chic's disco classic Le Freak. With Girls Aloud's second album, What Will the Neighbours Say, going straight into the charts at #6 and selling over twice as many copies of its predecessor, it seemed like the band were now virtually unstoppable. And one listen to their new full-length CD, which was certified platinum in just 3 weeks of release, proved that they were far from running out of new ideas just yet.
Yeah, we won a Disney Award. What was it for again? Best Newcomer. Best single for Sound of the Underground. That was really good. It's like getting something back for the hard work you put in. You know, the fans voted for us, and I think everything this year has just been one big learning curve. Really, you learn a lot in the first year, and you can carry on through experience in your next year, and it carries on like that. I think we're more experienced now.
The first thing you notice about What Will the Neighbours Say, as with any new album, is the sleeve. The girls are pouting and thrusting all over the place. Song titles are represented as corporate advertising logos, and there are the inevitable ads for Girls Aloud ringtones. The whole thing, we are told, is presented in a loud sound. It's safe to say that the Girls Aloud haven't fallen into the obvious second album trap of getting all mature, having their pictures and videos shot in black and white in the rain and desperately showing us how soulful they are. In fact, the good news is that What Will the Neighbours Say is even more fizzing, upbeat and mind-blowingly pop than its predecessor. It's Sound of the Underground multiplied by a zillion, and it's brilliant. We kick off with the high-energy electro groove of the show, which strikes a fine balance between cold, harsh, machine minimalism and lush pop maximalism. Shoulda known, shoulda cared, shoulda hung around the kitchen in my underwear, acting like a lady, goes the hook line. The show in question seems to be the one that men demand women to put on in order to keep them interested. But Girls Aloud aren't flashing their knickers until they're sure that they love you. Except they're wondering whether, if they perform the occasional lap dance for him, their bloke might not have upped and left. It sounds like he wasn't worth hanging on to anyway. Love Machine has an almost rockabilly rhythm, opening with a twanging guitar riff straight out of Runaway Boys by bequiffed 80s chart rebels the Stray Cats. It's still pure contemporary dance floor pop though, with great choppy acoustic guitar chords, an irresistibly catchy melody and a lyric that seems to be about the old battle of the sexes, featuring lines like Mr. Prehistoric, make your wheel and I'll breathe underwater 'cause I like the way it feels. I'll Stand By You and Jump follow, before the brilliant Wake Me Up, which is almost what 9 Inch Nails would sound like if they were 5 limey party girls in their early 20s. Electro-goth bass lines, distorted slivers of guitar, a pounding, marching beat, and the girls coming on like a chorus of swooping, robotic sirens. Deadlines and Diets is plastic soul that's thankfully closer to All Saints than Whitney or Someone, a page from the diary of a modern girl about town trying to keep it all together in the face of deadlines, diets, and devious men. I'm cool until reality hits me in the face and drops the phone in the tea, it says. And who wouldn't be shaken up by that kind of behaviour? Big Brother is a stroke of genius, just on the strength of its perfect 21st century media referencing title. It's more classic modern pop, with echoes of Kylie and Duran Duran, and a lyric that seems to suggest the girls are under surveillance, or even have a stalker in their flat. But they don't mind, because they've got nothing to hide, and they think he quite likes them, and it's nice not to have to come home to an empty house anyway. Cue highfalutin theories about the devaluation of privacy in our society, everybody wanting to be famous and sharing their every thought and experience with the world via online blogs and friends reunited. The Big Brother George Orwell feared in 1984 is now someone whose attentions we actively crave. Hear Me Out is an I will survive, I am woman, I am strong type of ballad, with a strong anthemic minor key chorus and lots of references to the rain and the wind and the like. Graffiti My Soul is all Missy Elliott style hip-hopping attitude and stuff. Spike heels and skin-tight jeans, I got a fistful of love and it's coming your way. Blimey. Later, there's a breathy spoken part that sounds like Madonna's Justify My Love, and a bluesy acoustic guitar breakdown, but generally it's more churning industrial pop. Real Life keeps the tempo high and has the great line, he started as a squeeze, oh pretty soon he was a tourniquet. Put Your Tongue in My Ear, it's queer but kind of fun. With a tomorrow generation, there's much to be done. That's the opening gambit of Here We Go, which mixes lightweight drum and bass with a samba rhythm, twanging rockabilly guitar riffs and melodic drops, and quiet, mid-paced verses with a rocketing high-energy chorus. It's great, as is the oddly titled Thank Me Daddy. The people in my bed are making me brain dead, it complains, over an uber-pop groove. Once again, there are nods in the direction of Duran in this tale of the eternal conflict between father and daughter as she starts to grow up and become her own person. The two extra UK bonus tracks, I Say a Prayer for You and 100 Different Ways, are both forgettable ballads that were born to be B-sides and which we could definitely have done without. The latter, in particular, drags the album down and is its only truly bad song. Still, this is easily a better and more accomplished record than its predecessor. Sophisticated rather than slick, Girls Aloud have gained confidence and found their own style, rather than aping tried and tested formulas as they did in parts of Sound of the Underground. All tracks here are crafted by the Xenomania team, with no outside writers, and the unity of vision gives the record a much more solid identity. This is scary future Robopop, and it's unstoppable.
We actually really liked Charlotte Church, and we loved Crazy Chick and everything. A comment got taken out of her hand, and then I was reading things all the time, horrible things she was saying, some really nasty things. I'm not the type of person that sits there and lets people keep slating us, so I said something back I maybe shouldn't have, and I definitely shouldn't have said anything about a boyfriend, but anyways, things got said. She's now saying that she was hurt by my comments, which I'm sorry for if she was, and that's it, really.
Girls Aloud began 2005 by being nominated for a Brit Award for Best Pop Act, and by releasing their 8th single, the fabulous Wake Me Up, accompanied by a video in which the girls cavorted around with various leather-clad biker types. Then, following their sold-out UK tour, it was back into the studio to begin work on their 3rd album in as many years. While Cheryl announced her engagement to footballer Ashley Cole, their next single, and the first from their 3rd album, Chemistry, was released on the 21st of August. Long Hot Summer was a fizzing, frothy pop confection, perfect for sun-dappled days and sultry hot nights on the beach, or wherever you happen to be during the summer months. Backed by breathy ba-ba-bas and strutting guitars, it showed a looser, more organic side to the girls, who were shaking like cool lemonade and just kicking back and having fun. But while a relentless release schedule kept Girls Aloud in the charts, their larger-than-life personalities kept them in the papers as well. In April, rumours spread that Nadine was about to leave the group to begin a solo career. Stories the girls were quick to quash via a statement on their website. Nick Carter of the Backstreet Boys publicly declared himself smitten from afar with Sarah, while in October the group, well, battling Cheryl Tweedy in particular, found themselves embroiled in an almighty rumpus with Welsh songbird Charlotte Church. It all started when Cheryl said that Charlotte's single, Crazy Chick, sounded like it could have been one of their old songs. She then added that Charlotte could have their old style because they were working in a new direction. Charlotte, an opera singer before she turned to pop, then hit back, saying that Cheryl should try singing Ave Maria before she started slagging her off, adding that Girls Aloud didn't have the range to even attempt to sing Crazy Chick. Well, our Cheryl wasn't going to take that lying down, and she immediately branded Church a nasty little piece of work with a fat head. She went on to describe Charlotte's boyfriend, professional rugby player Gavin Henderson, as scabby and a posing idiot who looks like a girl. And she's not even gorgeous, Tweedy added, as a final scathing put-down of the Welsh diva. Girls Aloud's next single, Biology, was released at the end of November and hailed as quite possibly their finest moment yet. The song seems to have it all. That speeded-up Chicago blues riff that heralded the verse, the breathy, yearning vocal, the balmy lyrics, Say You Love Me and Not My Dirty Brain, and at least 3 different killer tunes packed into just over 3 minutes of pop heaven. By the time the chorus arrives, you're already overstimulated to the point of exhaustion, but when it ends, you just want to hear it all over again. Evidently, all the excitement got to the girls as well, as Sarah collapsed with a kidney infection just minutes after performing Biology live on CD UK. Luckily, all she needed was plenty of rest and made a full recovery. Meanwhile, in October, it was announced that Girls Aloud would be immortalised in their own range of Barbie dolls, with the girls personally overseeing production. Yes, from Christmas 2005, you could buy your own miniature plastic replicas of Nadine, Nicola, Sarah, Cheryl and Kimberly in outfits they'd designed themselves. The clothes would all be based on actual items from the girls' wardrobes and came as part of the Barbie Fashion Fever range. Having received the ultimate accolade of having Barbie dolls modelled on them, what else could Girls Aloud hope to achieve? Well, just wait till you hear their third album. Including the group's 2005 Christmas single, a cover of See the Day by 80s singer D.C. Lee, Chemistry was released on December the 5th and initially came in a limited edition double CD package, with the bonus disc featuring the girls performing some of their favourite Christmas songs. It seems as though nothing can stop Girls Aloud from bestriding the world of pop like 5 mini-skirted colossi. They've got the looks and the hooks, thumping tunes and the attitude to match. Xenomania may be the backroom boffins knocking out the songs, but they'd be nothing without the girls up front singing them, putting their own personality behind the words and their moves into the melody. It's an unstoppable combination, in which everyone's a winner, except maybe one true voice. So go girls, show us what you've got, and don't stop the beat.
Thank you for buying Maximum Girls Aloud. We hope you enjoyed it. Watch out for further titles on Chrome Dreams coming up soon. If you did enjoy it or have any comments or suggestions, write to us at Chrome Dreams, PO Box 230, New Malden, Surrey, UK, KT3 6YY, or email on mail@chromedreams.co.uk. Details of our full catalogue are listed on our website at www.chromedreams.co.uk. Thanks again for listening, and goodbye for now.